this is Kelly. I'm coming to you with another layout. This is actually a stash dive for me. I have an Iris cart with a ton of Dear Lizzie items, papers, embellishments that I have not used or still have like pieces left over for them. And so I decided to pull those out and play today. So I am using that piece right there as my background, and I haven't done that lately with having pattern paper as my background, so I thought that would be nice to try something a little bit different. So I'm just taking my Prima ink, this is Glistening Waves, and spraying it on the plastic and a little water just to move it, and just to add that watercolor effect. And I will tell you that there is some buckling that always happens when I do this, but with this it was even worse than usual, and I'm not sure just because if it was an older paper, maybe the consistency of the paper's changed. I'm not sure what the difference has been with the pattern paper, but it definitely warped quite a bit more. So I pulled out this Teresa Collins modeling paste, and I went ahead and sprayed some of that Prima mist in. I decided that I wanted to use one of my Heidi Swap stencils and put a little bit more mixed media on this, add some hearts to the background. And I didn't want to do a whole bunch just because, the background already has the pattern, and I wanted it to be subtle, and I felt like with this light color and just a speckling of the hearts, not all over, that it would be just what I was looking for. And I did really end up liking the end result. But one thing that I have found, if you have not used her modeling paste, the Teresa Collins, it definitely needs a little bit more time to dry, or it will if you hit it with your finger or something, it will leave a mark. And I guess that's my only complaint, and that would just be because I am impatient and want to keep on going. And I didn't find that when I had dried it before with, excuse me, with my heat gun, that it really even made a difference. So for me at this point, it's just leaving it and letting it dry. So I went ahead and added some more splatters of mist. And again, I'm just trying to get a few of them up off the page just so that I can keep working. And so I decided to go ahead and work on my photo cluster while I'm waiting for the background to dry. This picture is of my husband and I in 1999. Ooh, long time ago. We were newlyweds, and I guess still newlyweds. We'd been married a year, and just unbeknownst to us, I was pregnant with my son at that time, so that's kind of cool. So I'm just taking these Dear Lizzie papers. You can see that part of that was cut out. That peach heart paper was cut out. I literally just take little scraps of paper that I have left over, and I'm just making layouts from what I have left. And that's one of the nice things about having pattern papers that you love. You can keep them, and go back to them in a few years and still be able to use, some of these papers. I love Dear Lizzie and the Maggie Holmes, so I don't find myself ever wanting to get rid of those. So my background's finally dried, and I went ahead and put everything down. And I had pulled this pink doily, and I had found that I think that was a cut apart on a sheet, and it says, "You're the peanut butter to my jelly," and I thought that was sweet. So I did cut that doily in half so that I could use it in a couple of places around the cluster and actually make some embellishment clusters off of those. And I really love the use of doilies, and that soft pink was just perfect. So I apologize for my head poking in and out. It was playing with the camera angle, and I'm still playing with it to try to get the best picture that I can for you. So at this point, I'm just going through to see what I can find. You know, these are some leftover embellishments that I've had, whether they be the puffy stickers. I pulled out some of her flair, and actually, that puffy sticker never makes it on to the page. I do find a couple of other things instead. So I decided to go ahead and mat uh, the background paper on a piece of cardstock just to help with to, to help try to straighten out the layout and just to give it a little bit more stability. So it wouldn't be a video if we weren't having ATG trouble or running out of tape. I have to laugh. I cut that out so many times. So I am using a lot of adhesive on this, even more so I think than usual, just because the buckling was so bad. And with this layout, I decided at the last minute that I wanted to sew around all the edges. And let me tell you, sewing the pieces before you adhere them is so much easier than sewing them after they're adhered. And I decided to sew the outside edge and of the background paper to the cardstock because I was afraid that with the buckling it was going to actually come up even with all that adhesive. So I did sew it down, and it still did buckle up in a couple of places and had some wrinkles, but I decided that it was not a big deal. I was fine with it. It's just more of that homemade look that's there. So I'm almost done at this point. I'm just trying to play around to see if I can get anything else on the page. And at the end, there's a couple of things that you'll see that I snuck on there. And I have the close-ups at the end so you can see what I've added. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day.